You're listening to Podcast PXN,
a video game podcast
delivering a player experience news.
Let's go! What is up, guys, and welcome to Podcast PXN, episode 302. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Prindle, aka Dan is DTM on Twitter, and I'm joined over Discord by the host of Large Popcorn and video producer at The Gamer, Christian Macias at ISO Christian.
I'm adding the Borderlands movie that Gage made me rent to this list just to make sure we have the movies we've watched together on there. Borderlands.
Oh yeah, the one that Dan told you guys 7 times not to watch. Yeah.
You said you liked it and that there was hype in the theater.
I don't think that those words ever came out of my mouth.
In fact, you tweeted at Eli Ross saying thank you.
Yes, that definitely did not happen. I think I might have tweeted at Randy Pitchford in my imagination how much of an idiot he is. And the resident Embark Glazer and my fellow Spartan, Gage Dempster at Kilbo Biggins.
reporting for duty.
Ready
to glaze.
Glaze on. Roshan is dealing with some sickness right now. We are hoping he gets better soon. My thoughts are with you, Ro.
Some would say he's down with the sickness.
Oh my god, I knew it. I knew it. I knew one of you fuckers would say that. Get up, come on, get down with the sick. My friend used to play that all the time back in the day.
I mean, okay, it's coming up. News of the week. I have stuff to say about Battlefield.
Okay. Thank you to everyone joining us live and participating in the chat. Just as a reminder, we are live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on youtube.com/podcastpxn and twitch.tv/podcastpxn as well. The topic of the show this week is we're discussing the original Nintendo Switch getting a price hike, as well as we're going to go over some Nintendo Direct announcements from last week as well that I threw in there as well. So let us go ahead and jump right into it. So leading us off the topic of the show, while we're talking about the Switch, let's just talk about the Switch 2. The Switch 2 is off to a hot start. It has doubled the sales of the original Switch in its first month on sale. It is surpassed 6 million units now that has been sold, over a third of the Wii U's total lifetime sales. Great start for that console.
It's a pretty strong start.
That Wii U, huh?
Not a good console.
Can I say, I've been into video games my whole life. And even I thought the Wii U was a controller and not a new console. That's how bad it was marketed.
Wow. All right. That's not the... Oh my god. Glenn's comments in the chat. Glenn, calm down. All right. Nintendo Direct last week had some announcements. This was their partner showcase, so some partners showed off some stuff. We'll just run through these here and just stop me if there's something you want to talk about. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment got a new gameplay trailer showcase that shows more of how it connects to Tears of the Kingdom.
Let me just stop you right here and say, you can just run through them.
Okay. Yeah,
that will not stop you anywhere.
That's fair. That's fair. There really wasn't a whole lot. I actually contemplated not even going over this, but I didn't know if somebody wanted me to. All right, so we're just going to run through it then. Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection announced for 2026. Octopath Traveler 0 brings a new HD 2D adventure to the Switch 2 coming this December. The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales is Square Enix's newest action RPG coming to Nintendo Switch 2. Final Fantasy Tactics, The Ivalice Chronicles. I probably mispronounced that word. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. But anyways, we got a new look at that. Madden NFL 26 has been announced for Switch 2 as well this August. EA Sports FC in September. Yeah, sure. Yada, yada, yada. Persona 3 Reload is launching on Switch on October 23rd. Hella Stars, an adorable mouse with a magical frog backpack is coming. It has
The game is called Hella, I believe.
Oh, you're right. Hella Stars. Why did they put it in cat? What? Like, what? I guess because it's a headline? That's kind of bizarre.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Star Wars Outlaws gets a new gameplay trailer for Nintendo Switch 2. Plants vs. Zombies Replanted brings back the beloved tower defense game. Brand new game. Chronos: The New Dawn confirms that Bloober Team is bringing their horror game to Nintendo Switch 2 alongside a September release date. Once Upon a Katamari has you restoring all the stars of the universe by rolling around. Roll. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. What?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, here we go.
That's it.
Chillin' by the
Wow.
Fire is out now, and it looks very cozy, according to IGN. This is all from IGN, by the way. This is their words. Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2 bring the updated versions of the PS2 classics to the Nintendo Switch 2. Pac-Man World 2 Repack. We gotta have one of those stupid-ass names for these remakes. Brings back the classic in a modernized, enhanced, and upgraded way.
What was that silly one?
Remastered.
That's the one.
Remastered.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Which
Red
sounds like
Faction.
almost something you can't say, but not quite.
Yeah.
Just Dance 2026 edition grooves its way to Switch in October. Apex Legends comes to Switch 2 very soon on August 5th, which is actually yesterday. It's out now. Congrats. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is coming to Switch 2. And then we have some quick hits here. Borderlands 4, Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Shinobi Art of Vengeance, NBA Bounce, and Goodnight Universe. Boom. That's our Nintendo Direct. A lot of
And there's an indie world, I think, next week.
That's true. Yep.
People are expecting Silk Song at the indie world, which is kind of crazy. At this point, that game is big enough to be somewhere bigger than that.
That's true. Like Gamescom. Maybe.
Like Gamescom.
All right.
I think people are going hands-on with it at Gamescom, though. Isn't that confirmed?
Yeah, I think it's going to be at the Xbox booth running on the ROG Ally, I think is what they said. Or somebody said. All right. The meat of the topic of the show here, Nintendo Switch original prices are going up in the US across the board for original Nintendo Switch, as well as some Nintendo Switch 2 accessories. So going over it here, I believe Canada already had some price increases for the original Switch, but this is for the US now. The Switch OLED is going up to $399.99 from $350, so it's going up $50. The non-OLED is going to $339.99 from $300, so going up $40. And the Switch Lite is going to $229.99 from $200, so going up $30. Also, Alarmo is going from $100 to $110, and Joy-Con 2 controllers for the Nintendo Switch 2 is going from $95 to $100, which those were already increased when Trump's tariffs were announced, and so now this is the second increase we've gotten. Thank you to our dipshit in office there. Appreciate that. But yeah, this is not great to have consoles that are 7 years or 8 years old now going up in price instead of down in price. Kind of wild.
Is market conditions strictly tariffs, we think? or is there other market factors
I
like
would
the
say
cost of? You know what I mean?
I would say for the Joy-Con 2 controllers, like it has to be tariffs because they just announced those price increases like for the previous increase like a month ago, or
Right.
2 months ago. So I feel like that is definitely that, but it could be like a mix of the two for the actual consoles itself, because I know Trump has also issued more pardons for or more pardons. God, I mean, I'm sure he's issued more pardons as well, more tariffs for stuff coming out of India. So I wonder if Nintendo had maybe positioned themselves to manufacture some of this stuff in India to avoid the China tariffs. And now they're being hit with this extra India tariff that is now on the way. Maybe that's a factor. I guess we don't really know. I know Apple had done that as well, but they were able to avoid the tariffs because of some kind of exclusion that they were able to secure, which is a whole other thing. But I don't know.
What are you looking at so intently?
I'm sorry, I'm distracted. Trying to reset my letterbox password.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my God.
Sorry,
Christ.
listen.
Jesus Christ.
I've got a one-track mind, all right? If I don't do it now, I'll forget to do
It's-
it.
Here's the thing, dude. Movies clear video games, huh? Avatar 2, let's get it done.
It's tough. It's close. It's close. Let's get it done does go insanely hard, though.
Let's get it done. How about this, Dan?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Avatar 3 Fire and Ash trailer that played before Fantastic Four?
It was fire and ash. And I was sitting right next to Sheldon, and Sheldon did not close his eyes for it. He watched the whole thing with everyone else.
He told me that he closed his eyes and plugged his ears, and I didn't believe him when he was telling me.
Wait, he told you that for the Avatar?
He
trailer?
did. He did.
I don't think he did. Yeah, I don't know. We might have to.
I think he watched it. I think he couldn't help himself, and he watched it. But he wants to be known as a man of resolve, so he told me otherwise. I think that's what happened.
Oh my god! All right, so if you're a consumer out there who's buying a $400 Switch OLED instead of a $450 Switch 2,
Here's what you do. Because I reckon if you're going to be buying a console for your kids, that's who I imagine the Switch audience now is. Like, if you haven't had a Switch at this point, it's probably because you're a little kid
right?
and your parents are buying it for you. A $400 console is a lot of money. You have better options on the table for you, like the Retroid Pocket 5 handheld for $219 USD. You should get into that.
Now, is the average parent gonna know what that is and
No.
where to find it?
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
They'll still call it the next Nintendo console. Yeah, that Nintendo console.
How
The
much is a
Nintendo
Switch
box.
2 by comparison?
$450, so $50
For
more.
$50 more.
Yeah.
That's insane. Why would you? What a weird, what a bizarre proposition.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I guess they'd be buying the Switch Lite for their kids, huh? $230.
Yes, yeah, that's the cheapest. Yep, that's true. One thing that I think's funny is I actually it was like a month and a half, 2 months ago. There was a deal on Woot, which is owned by Amazon, that you could get a Switch OLED for $249.99. So I got with my parents at the time, and I was like, "Hey, I would like to do this for my nieces and nephews, but I'm not going to be able to buy 2 consoles, one for each family." I was like, I normally do like $50 per kid, so doing the math, it was about right for the 3 kids. So I was like, wait, what? Oh,
Hold on,
sorry,
Grandpa's
all
doing
5
math.
kids. All 5 kids. Now I know what I did. The mental math. all 5 kids, because there's 5 kids, $50. So I was like, hey, will you guys buy one of them? I'll buy one of them, which is $250, which is 5 times 50. And my parents were like, yeah, well, we'll do that. And now I'm like, fuck, I'm glad I did that, because now they're fucking $400. That would have been insanely more expensive. $300 more.
That's too much money.
Yeah.
Wages aren't high enough for a Switch One to cost $400. I'm sorry.
Right.
And this also, I mean, it brings up a broader issue as well, with continued talk of next gen consoles coming out in the next year or two. We may be seeing even more expensive consoles that are still on the way, with PlayStation 6 and whatever the next Xbox ends up being, which is very concerning. Because don't forget, this is the first time Nintendo has released a console at $449 at launch. Like, this is expensive for a Nintendo console over the last 2 decades or so.
I have to imagine next year will look like the PS3 Xbox 360 generation, where the Xbox 360 released first and the PS3 released the next year. I can't see a PS6 happening until 2027. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I think rumors pegged the... Oh, God.
Whoa! They did what?
I think
we'll have
the rumors positioned the Xbox as coming out in 2026 originally, but I think lately they've been saying that they think it might be 2027 now. So they may both come out like fall 2027. I don't know. We'll still have the orange man in office though, doing some crazy shit. So who knows?
Unless those Xboxes are made in America, they might be looking pretty expensive.
That's true. Apple, you know what? Guy, friend of the show, might have been on to something. Apple is the future of gaming. They're building U.S. manufacturing.
Let me just say this. I pulled up the PXN predictions that you guys asked me from like 2 weeks ago.
Please. Dan and I had a bet about something.
What was it?
Should we save that? Should we save that for after news of the week?
We're not even in news of the week yet.
We're in topic of the show.
We're in topic of the show. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, reset that password, huh?
No, I still meant should we save it as its own segment and not do it right now? But please, all right. Let's lump it in with Nintendo.
No, that's
price increase.
All right. Yeah, so not great. I'm not sure where Nintendo goes from here. I don't even know how much longer the original Switch will stay on market, just because the Switch 2 covers basically everything as it is. I guess, I don't know. I guess in my eyes, you almost get rid of the OLED in the normal Switch model and just sell the Nintendo Switch Lite, because then you give yourself the largest gap between your previous console and the new console in terms of pricing. It gives someone an easier entry point, and then, say, hey, we've got the Switch 2. But I don't know.
Are they still making Switch ones? Do we know?
Yes.
Apparently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very strange strategy. We'll see how it works out for them.
We will indeed. All right. Let's get into the news of the week. Next wait, what did you say you wanted in the news of the week? Do you want to do that first? Or do you want to wait?
Let's do it after news of the week.
Okay. The next gen speculation is here. We were just talking about next gen consoles a little bit. We have some speculative specs for both PlayStation 6/handheld and also.
Wow, this sounds a lot like a street meet, huh? Pulling from Reddit?
You're right.
From Moore's Law is Dead?
You're right. It really should be in street meets.
He's pretty reputable, but it's technically a street meet. But Moore's Law is Dead is usually pretty reputable. This is
labeled as leak.
Yeah, leak, as in something that is real, leaked, not speculative.
Fake stuff leaks all the time. There's fake leaks happening left and right.
You don't know Moore's Law is Dead, do you?
I don't care to know. I don't care to know who anyone is.
All right.
I don't even know your name.
let's go over a special street meet edition of PXN News of the Week. There we go. Some next-gen speculation here. PlayStation's Orion, codename Orion, PS6 home console, and PlayStation Canis, which is the handheld for PlayStation 6, has early specs leaked from Moore's Law is dead. PlayStation Orion is a chiplet design with some mention of possibly utilizing Navi 5 desktop chiplets. Backwards compatibility for PlayStation 5 and PS4 generations with no mention of PS3. Heavy emphasis on cost constraints and keeping power lower than PS5. Manufacturing is planned for mid-2027 with a likely fall 2027 or early 2028 release date. What the fuck is that? I don't know what that is. TBP? What does that stand for?
I'm guessing it's a typo. They meant thermal TDP.
Well,
thermal draw power.
It's 160 watt. Yeah, maybe.
TDP. Yeah.
160 watts. 8 Zen 6 or later cores for the CPU. 40 to 48 RDNA 5 compute units at 3 gigahertz each. 160-bit or 192-bit bus with GDDR7 RAM at 32 gig per second. Let's see. Rasterization performance is estimated to be 3 times the PS5. Ray tracing uplift is expected to be higher because Canis is verified to be on 3 nanometers. Nanomillimeters?
Yeah. 3 nanometers.
Okay. Why wouldn't? Never mind.
3 nanometers inside you.
And Magnus is on 3 nanometers. It is believed that this is 3 nanometers as well. It's clear that PS6 Orion started as a chiplet design that looked kind of like an RDNA 3 layout, but it's also clear that AMD was trying to convince Sony to share dies with desktop, so it's very possible that the final design could use AT3 or AT like Xbox Magnus, and therefore it could end up getting more than 48 compute units, but likely the same or less than Xbox. The handheld, I'm going to skip the bullshit because I don't think people are going to understand that, but the handheld backwards compatibility with PS5 and PS4 generations with no mention of PS3. It includes a micro SD slot, SSD slot, haptic vibration, dual mics, and a touchscreen. Specifically, a diagram states that the USB-C port has video out capabilities. Manufacturing planned also for mid-2027 for the same release date. 15 watts of power. That's interesting. Very, very conservative. It's going to have 4 Zen 6C core processors and 12 to 20 RDNA 5 compute units at 1.6 to 2 gigahertz. Also DDR5 RAM as well. And the same rasterization performance. Canis should beat Xbox Ally X in performance, but it doesn't come off as a powerhouse, quote unquote.
I'm going to say it.
Sure, say it.
I don't get why everyone is back on the trend of making handheld versions of their consoles.
You don't get it.
I'm not the target audience at all.
I hear you, and I wouldn't, if I was in charge, I would not be prioritizing that at all. But didn't the Portal do really exceptionally well?
Apparently.
That's what I'm saying. I don't get it. I don't know who's buying these things, but apparently it is. People are buying them.
Yeah, but are you playing them?
People like Dan and Ro who play our fucking Switches in exclusively handheld mode. That's who's buying them.
Oh, do you want to play The Last of Us in handheld?
Exactly.
No, but that doesn't mean I won't play something else in handheld mode.
So you're going to buy 2 consoles? You're going to buy a home version and a...
No, I would imagine that it'll connect to your TV just like the Switch, right?
At that point, okay. This is
why are you assuming that?
This is the type of greed that they talked about in the Bible.
Well, that's what it said.
You don't need...
Thank you.
In the leak, it said that it had USB-C video capabilities.
This is the kind of greed they talked about in the Bible. Is awesome. What an awesome slam. I agree. Enough. Just make the one, huh? Just make the one product.
I mean, it doesn't have to be for you though. It's not necessarily you're not the target audience.
That's true.
That's the thing.
I can't help but wonder though, like of the resources putting into two consoles, if they instead just did if they put everything into the PS6, right, and didn't worry about trying to make money back on a second thing. It's like maybe they'd be able to take more of a hit on this thing and put more specs into it. I don't know.
But here's the thing, Gage. Games take like 8 years to make already. Now developers got to worry about making a separate SKU for this one console already. Right. You know what I mean? Make sure you got to certify it on this weird little handheld thing. Enough.
A separate SKU. They fucking make games for Switch 2, fucking Xbox Series S, Series X, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One.
Let's get more on the pile.
No. This is why developers are opting to choose not to go Series S route. It's too hard. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's not true. Developers say there's stories out there that say that, and then developers end up releasing on Series S. With concessions. The issue with the Series S wasn't that people couldn't make stuff for Series S. It was that Microsoft originally had a thing in there where they said everything in the Xbox Series X version had to be exactly the same on Series S. And that was what was tripping up developers in the beginning, because they said, we can't fucking make this thing run at 60 frames per second or whatever constraints that they had at the time. That was the issue originally. And then,
there's two things I want to highlight on this. One of them is that they mentioned that AMD is trying to push PlayStation 6 towards using a similar desktop design that they have going for Xbox as well. If these systems, the PlayStation 6 base, the PlayStation 6 portable, the Xbox base, the Xbox portable, if they all have the similar architecture, it could be simpler for developers to port from one to the other. It could just be as simple as like scaling graphics and fidelity. Like that is feasible. The thing that jumps out to me in this spec leak is that the claim that the rasterization performance, which means like raw horsepower, what do they call it? Upscaling or any of that stuff, just base horsepower, is 3 times the PlayStation 5. Have we seen a jump like that across generations before? Because I feel like going from Series X to Xbox One, wasn't it like a 1.8 times roughly graphic fidelity, I think?
From Xbox One to Series X, I think is like 5 times.
Was it that much?
Yeah. I think this is a downswing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The original Xbox One was, I believe, under a teraflop of power, and the Series X is like 5 or 6 teraflops of power.
Yeah, you're right. You are right. That is something like that. Still, three times performance, even if it is less than the jump previously, it's more than I thought. I was really worried that we were going to be stuck in upscaling land for the rest of our lives. So I'm actually kind of pleased to see the 3 times X rasterization performance.
I misspoke before when I said that the rasterization performance is the same on the handheld. The handheld is 0.5 times PS5 for the handheld. So
yes, no, I'm talking about the base PS6.
Yeah. I just wanted to clarify that because I just realized I saw it on there and I realized I misspoke. I'm
excited though. I'm a little bit excited. I can't lie.
I think the other thing about having multiple SKUs, I agree with you in principle, Christian, in terms of like developers have enough shit to do already, and I was adamant about that with Halo Infinite's launching on 7 different consoles and PC, and
damn,
I think that is a concern, but I also think that if the rumors are true of the Xbox console, it's seemingly going to be a PC anyways, so it's seemingly already blurring the lines of what is going to be a console. So if it is just a PC, it makes it a little bit easier, I would imagine, to make for both consoles and PC, because it's basically a PC anyways, or maybe it will actually be a fully fledged PC. We don't really know that yet, but I think that part of it could make things a lot easier on developers for porting between devices. And like there are certain games that I would love to play on handheld mode. Like there's absolutely a market for that, and I think Switch illustrates that pretty well. And obviously, those games that Nintendo makes are usually very well suited for that. But I do think that there's games that are on next gen systems that would be suited well for that as well. Like Hades is a great example of something that I think would do really well on there.
I agree.
Show me the games. Show me the games. I don't care about the hardware. PS5 library is ass.
You heard it here first. PS5 library.
Well, what about? Oh wow, The Last of Us Part 2 was a PS4 game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That is kind of crazy.
All right. Let's move into the other news of the week item. Battlefield 6. We're going to talk about this here, which I believe next week's episode we're going to do a Battlefield 6 reactions, or Battlefield 6 impressions is the word I was looking for, after we get our hands on it this weekend. But we have some more information.
You work tomorrow, Gage?
What?
I do work tomorrow.
Damn it. Press number 4.
I'm
Dial 4.
I'm thinking about it.
Wait. You work tomorrow? I thought you were off tomorrow.
No, I told you I work tomorrow. Should I call in? And
what was my answer?
Let me see.
Yeah, look at that fucking answer.
Hold on.
Hold on. I almost called you a word.
Let's see.
You PAB.
PAB?
Dan knows what that means. He's well acquainted.
I said, should I take Thursday night off, or will you be in bed by 11? And then you put X eyes with O face. Lol, I won't be in bed at 11. That's the last you said of it. You didn't say a single thing more.
You have to use your context clues for that one, Gage.
But I need more than context clues from Dan, because he's gonna say, because what's gonna happen is 11:50. He's gonna be like, I'm time for bed.
No,
I didn't take it off. I didn't say anything.
11:50, exactly.
We're about to throw this shit
work
all
tomorrow, bitch.
I gotta go to work on Tuesday.
I gotta look at a picture of me in 2005 wearing the same blue gym shorts that I'm wearing today.
That's also bullshit. Stupid. Let me just actually read all of the messages here from our thread, which
doxing me live on the podcast, by the way.
Yeah, I'm fact checking. This is what happens when you get fact checked
fact checking
during a live broadcast, which our president should be fact checked on the regular. We started this conversation talking about Battlefield Bad Company and all kinds of other things, and then you said,
Wait, read all those things first. Read all those things for the audience,
We don't need to read all that. You said, I love when we find common ground. Let's find common ground on the battlefield Friday night. I said immediately, Thursday. He said, Ryan, friend of the show Ryan, said he would actually play the beta with us on Saturday. I was shocked. And I immediately again responded, Thursday night. And then I said, you said Friday, Thursday, and Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday. And then I corrected myself, and Monday. And then I said, not Monday, because it's ending Sunday. But yeah, so just for clarification there, I did say Thursday night multiple times. Thank you. I rest my case. Back to you. Well, what else you got?
If you want to be my friend for a day, Gage, just let me know.
Okay. Can I also say something? I finally got to read your description of that list you made, and I'm gonna cry. I can feel my eyes swelling up, dude.
Amazing.
All right.
I've watched 50% of these.
Now that you guys got me fired up, Christian just believes whatever comes out of your mouth. Doesn't even fucking fact check.
What about and then
you're like a Republican with Donald Trump. That's what you are, Christian.
Oh.
What did he say? Oh, Daddy Gage? I believe in you, Daddy Gage.
He's my little Mike Johnson, dude.
He is. All right. Battlefield 6 Portal, we got to look at. It fucking looks insane. The amount of creation that you can do in this in Portal looks awesome. Why is Christian giving the thumbs down already? I've been on the segment for 5 seconds
I hate
and already
user-generated
a
content.
fucking thumbs down. It looks awesome. The amount of things you can create with UGC, like any game that creates something that you can create UGC content is a win in my book. This is awesome.
Huge win.
Very cool.
They showed that off, and the only two things they showed for game modes was a Battlefield version of Only Up and a Battlefield version of that like GTA mode where it's like on a ramp and things are falling down. I'm like, okay.
Right, but
Both of
that's
those-
why the community is the one creating and not the developers. That's the whole point of it.
I'll tell you right now, they specifically showed those two things because this is the first time that those were quick clips that you could throw into a larger trailer or event, whatever you want to call it, that show that there's level editing. Because in Portal, in every previous iteration of Portal, you've been able to change rule sets and you've been able to change like spawns. You've not been able to actually build a map from scratch. That's why they threw that in there. If that was the only thing they showed, well, see, even using your context clues, Christian, it tells you everything you need to know about the power of what Portal can be. But they did have, as part of one of their written sort of like, one of their write-ups, I think with one of the outlets maybe, they were saying that somebody had created a top-down 2D shooter and somebody had made obviously they're going to say this because it's all the rage, but a horde mode. So like stuff like that is kind of exciting to me. I think this would be cool. I used to love Far Cry map editors, and the later versions of that allowed you to do like simple scripting with AI bots, so you could like make like single player missions or whatever. This seems pretty cool, and if it's heading in that direction, this might be. I agree with Dan. This is just a win for longevity and keeping things fresh. This sounds awesome.
Also, they're basically having an entire engine for community members to use because they're using a custom version of the Godot game engine for UGC. Right. So it's like it's fully blown. It's not just a half-baked effort here.
You have to give me the stone. Sorry, that was a deep cut.
Pedro Pascal.
He said Godot, but I think the engine is pronounced Godot.
Whatever. I'm not French.
You gain XP on this, by the way. So if you want to, earn your battle pass, XP.
That's true. You earn XP for making maps, and you earn XP, I think, if your game mode hits certain criteria. People could just earn XP from playing it.
Yeah, the cool part of Portal in the past was like having the different eras, right? Because they included previous Battlefields, weapons and vehicles and stuff in Portal where you could play like modern versions of that. It was pretty cool.
Right.
But this is one other level. All right, so moving on from there, we do have a Battlefield 6 developer that is committed to the gritty realism, which should be music to Gage's ears. He says, I don't think that it needs Nicki Minaj. Keeping that gritty war-torn look.
Can I tell you something?
Tell us.
Of all the things, of all the statements that the developers have made and all the news coming out of the event, I believe this the least. The specific wording that they've used in every statement leads me to believe that they may not have celebrity cameos, but they will have lime green neon accent shit in T-2 seasons. I can feel it in my balls. They're gonna have neon green shit. They're gonna have weed stuff on your fucking guns. It is gonna go there. I can promise you. They're gonna say that it's tactical because it'll be like a realistic uniform with pink highlights, but they will go there. I can feel it. There's just something off about the wording and the specific words.
Let me read you the sentence, Gage. What I can tell you is I don't know of any plans, and at the moment, that package is the gritty realism. That package is the gritty realism that we listen. That I can tell you.
They love DICE is such a hot and cold studio. They love being vague and being CEO talk with their words, and yeah, I got a bad feeling about it. But you know what? At least at launch, it'll look nice. Trying to find the silver lining.
I don't know. I think you guys are reading too much.
Write it
into
down.
the
Right,
words.
Christian.
Because like, well,
add it
wait a
to the
minute.
prediction
Because
list.
how do you? But where do you draw the line? Is my point. Like there, that's such a, you know.
I can give you a definitive rule set right now. You ready?
There we go. This is Gage's rules.
This is Gage's rule set. Would the U.S. Army deploy this person wearing this thing in an active combat zone? And if your answer, looking at it, is no, because that's clearly reflective or a high vibrant color, that does not meet the criteria of realistic or gritty.
Okay. So we'll see. Should we make a bet on this? Because I feel like
We should absolutely make a bet on it.
I feel like you guys are reading really far into this word, and this isn't a This isn't a CEO making this comment. This is a developer on the ground.
I understand, but
making
it's
the
still
game.
CEO speak. He's still speaking the language, and people only do
don't think
CEO
so.
speak when they're trying to hide. Yes.
I don't think so.
Let's
I
do a
think
bet,
you guys
dude.
are just reading too much into what he's saying.
Put your money where your mouth is. That's all I'm gonna say.
I will. But there has to be some kind of time constraint. We can't fucking sit here 10 years from now and say, "Oh, look, that fucking thing made it in." You know.
Gage said like for first 2 seasons after the first 2 seasons.
Okay. So season 3 is that what we're saying?
Season 3.
Are we saying including season 3 or ending season 3?
Yeah, I guess they do like drops and stuff now too. I'm gonna say before the end of season 3, you will start to see some bullshit, and we've already defined what bullshit is.
Okay. But who's going to be the judge of the bullshit based on the words you just said?
We're gonna throw it up for the audience. You're gonna screen share on live, and you're gonna say, "Does this look?" And you're gonna say to the audience, "Does this look like something the U.S. Army would send a soldier out into battle wearing?"
Now,
would this get somebody spotted?
Devil's advocate,
if they were hiding in the trees.
To play devil's advocate, have you seen what the U.S. Army wears lately?
I have.
Okay. You have.
Well, I mean, we could all, anyone could Google it at any moment too.
Sure.
Let me Google IDF real quick.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
That's funny, the U.S. Army.
I'm just saying, if I go out and find a U.S. soldier that's wearing lime green, like...
Yeah, if you search fucking hazmat FEMA fucking nuclear reactor control, I'm sure you'll get that. You know what I'm talking about.
I know, but my point is like, it's so granular. My point is it's so granular, like just having lime green, is that what dictates it? Like, that's my point.
Here's what I add. Dice will add colorful cosmetics to BF6 before end of season 3.
See, I would say that's like a very
unrealistic, colorful. If you type in U.S. infantry
Fortnite-esque.
Yes, exactly. Fortnite-esque.
Okay, that's fair. Fortnite-esque, sure.
Actually, don't put Fortnite-esque, because then he's gonna.
COD-esque.
Well, no, but that's my point, though. You're smiling as if I'm trying to do a get you. It's not. I'm just trying to make a point that it's like there is some granularity there. Like there's not. I think that there's not like a hard. Oh, this is a hard cut. Like you really have to see it and like form your opinion based off of it. And we may not have the same opinion. Right. As you know, we don't have the same opinion on everything. We may not have the same opinion on one piece. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I get what you're saying. In general, I think we would agree, but like if it gets into like the really minute, we might be like having disagreements.
Yes, and I should say, for the purpose of this bet, I don't think it'll be granular. I think it'll be offensive.
That's fair.
So I don't think we're running that issue.
Okay, that's fair.
If it's on the line and it's granular and it's that nitpicky, I'll give it to you. But I think they're gonna go stupid with it.
All right, that's
okay.
Fair.
Here we go. Dan says on episode 302 of PXN. Dan says Battlefield 6 will keep gritty realism aesthetic. That's all I need to say. He's already having an issue with that. Apparently, he won't.
Well, we had like the season 3 thing, right?
Yeah. He won't when I read Gage's. Gage's is Dice will add objectively offensive COD-esque colorful cosmetics to BF6 before end of season 3, i.e. bullshit. I think that covers it.
I love it.
There we go.
I think that covers
Lock it in.
All right. Lock it in. Oh, more dumb bets we come up with here. All right. Shotgun physics. Have you guys seen the shotgun physics? Here's the thing that also makes it like,
I did.
is this gritty realism? Gage?
That's like a bug. You know what I mean?
I don't think it is.
I'm glad you brought. I'm glad you put that little zinger in there, Dan, because DICE actually pulled the same zinger that you did on people in Battlefield 5. So in Battlefield 5, if you remember, the reveal trailer of that was very controversial because it showed a female sniper with a robotic amputee claw running around shooting people, and people were like, what the fuck, this is a bit silly, this is a World War II game. And then the DICE themselves, like I said, they're hot and cold, sometimes they say things that I don't agree with. They said, well, you can put C4 on a plane and fly it into somebody. That's not very realistic, is it? The Battlefield games, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, even Bad Company, aesthetically have been realistic. They have been immersive in their visual style. Yes, you can do ridiculous things in Battlefield, and I'm not advocating that you can't do those things. I want to do C4 Jeeps. I want to put C4 on Christian's drone and have him fly it into somebody and do something stupid. That's fine. Visually, Battlefield games historically have been realistic. That is what I'm talking about. If you want to shotgun somebody and their body and they have their awesome ragdoll physics that look like it's carried over from Star Wars Battlefront, I've got no problem with that. That's fine. I just don't want to see a fucking gremlin walk by or a fucking Family Guy kick in the front door to the building that I'm about to breach. That's the type of shit that I have a problem with it. So over exaggerative ragdoll physics don't bother me at all.
Yeah. I agree with you. I was just trying to bait you.
And it worked. And it fucking worked.
I agree with you. I think it looks awesome when you just fucking blow someone out of a fucking blown out wall with a shotgun. That's sick.
They must have loved that they caught that clip, by the way, because that's clearly all in game, and he just happened to be running in the right direction with the right momentum to get shot out of that window.
I think the one we saw there was like partially like a bug / glitch, like Christian was saying, but like I don't think that they'll fix that. I think that's just like part of the charm.
Right. I think so too. And I am charmed. Consider me charmed.
All right. So, moving on from there, big Battlefield segment even though. All right, Bad Company 2 was a huge inspiration according to a producer. And he has said that 2042 was missing the excellence of the predecessor Battlefield Bad Company 2. In an interview with PC Gamer, he identified that Bad Company 2 was excellence in Battlefield's legacy and admitted prior installation. Wow. Installment. Why was I wanting to say installation? Not fucking Halo. Installment Battlefield 2042 was kind of missing some of the destructive elements that the series is famous for. When you look for excellence in our legacy, Bad Company 2 is where you find it. That game particularly delivered on a level of fidelity and sort of intimate destructive experience. Blasting out a single wall, bringing down a partial building or entire buildings. It was comprehensive, and it felt like the identity of the game was. It felt like the identity of that game more than anything else.
I mean, it wasn't just that. I mean, it was like focused gunplay, and more importantly, like a refined class system, which they got away with in 2042. Do you know what I mean? Thank God that's back.
Sure.
That's exactly it. I mean, there's a core gameplay flow to Battlefield, and that's what always has separated it from Call of Duty is communication and coordination with your team and using different roles to fill certain needs. And Battlefield 2042 definitely, on the surface, looked like a Battlefield game, but did not play like one. So there's more than just destruction there. And I will say, because I don't think we have anything else coming up in it in this topic that we have here. The destruction, I know this is going to make Dan roll his eyes. The destruction in Battlefield 6 is the thing that I actually like the least so far. Only in the sense that it seems like they're like, shit, we need to add destruction back, and it seems like they've added a very simple... It looks great fidelity wise. It's chunks flying everywhere and little giblets and the railings falling off of buildings when the facade falls. But the problem there's two things that stuck out to me. One, I've seen multiple times now where a tank will shoot at like the side of a building, and the whole side of the building comes off. And then secondly, I'm surprised this made it into the trailer, but they specifically showcased the sledgehammer, and the guy looks at the ground and he hits the sledgehammer, and the entire like 9 feet by 9 feet floor falls in. Like it's just dialed up to like 14. And I'm like, man, in the day of, and here, ready to glaze, in the day and age of the finals, I'm like, this actually doesn't mechanically look that good. I would much rather have it that if the tank blows a hole, there's a small shell-sized hole, and if you do that, in enough spots, then the facade comes down. The same thing with the sledgehammer. I want a little square knocked out of the floor, and then if you hit in the right few spots, then the whole floor caves in. It seems very simplistic in terms of like, oh, this whole floor is one Fortnite cube, and if you do something to it, the whole cube falls in. That's the vibe I got. Now, we haven't played it yet. Maybe I'll be wrong, but
BattleBit Remastered might have better destruction than the PS6 things we've seen so far. I agree with you.
Yeah, it caught my eye. I'm still gonna wait to see how it plays. Maybe they did just tune things for the trailer to make it look super flashy. But I thought, like, all right, you've just hit a sledgehammer in the middle of the floor, and like I said, 15 feet of floor is just falling through now. It seems a bit, but that can be tweaked as well. So I'm just saying.
To be fair, I haven't seen the sledgehammer thing that you're talking about, so I can't speak on that. But in terms of like I've watched people like playing live gameplay, and I personally haven't noticed that. Like, there's even some vehicles. Christian giving me a look. God damn it! I haven't even finished my statement.
Don't get baited. You're getting baited.
I'm getting baited before I even can finish a statement. There's certain vehicles and certain weapons that I agree with you. They do take down walls, but I also saw vehicles that did not take down walls when you shot at it and didn't even make a hole in the wall. And you had to shoot multiple times to actually do physical damage, which I like that aspect of it.
I like that too. Yeah.
And like, I feel like Battlefield Bad Company specifically, that game didn't really have a whole lot of nuance in terms of destruction. You shoot a grenade launcher at a wall, the wall's going to go away. If you shoot a tank shell at the wall's going to... I don't know.
That's exactly part of my point, right? Is that this feels a lot like the destruction that was in Battlefield Bad Company 2, and that game is like, what, 14 years old, right? So I was hoping for a little bit more... But like we said, I haven't played it yet. Maybe it is... maybe there is a bit more... nuance in terms of the destruction scaling, but that's just an early observation I made that made me a little bit worried. But again, that's something that can be tweaked, I'm sure.
I think also that there can be something to be said that this game is playing it very safe to go back to basically what Battlefield was, and I think that they took a lot of risks with 2042. A lot of people didn't like a lot of the changes that they made with 2042. So maybe they're in a headspace now where they're like, hey, we need to get back to what makes Battlefield, and trying to go back to the
scoreboard
roots, so to speak.
A scoreboard will help, yes. I think you're right, Dan.
What about voice chat?
That's true.
And VoIP is actually one thing that there has been a significant upgrade on. I don't think we talked about it today. I can just mention it quickly for anybody that's listening that's planning on jumping into it. It will have proper distance-based voice reverb in the game. So if somebody's down the hall from you yelling, they'll sound, faint versus somebody right next to you is yelling at you and you'll hear them clearly, which is very cool. Like, we've all played BattleBit. BattleBit did that exceptionally well, and it was also used the bridge. I mean, it's gonna lead to some great moments. I worry because it is a main AAA game. I worry about things like what's going to be acceptable and what isn't, if that gets a little bit overbearing or not. Hopefully they just kind of are a bit hands off at first and just let people make some fun memories and hype online, and I think that'll do well for the game.
Brother,
please, I need a res. Exactly, stuff like that. That's gonna help. That's gonna help with the vibe and with the tone of the game, I think. So that's exciting that they have that in there, at least at launch. I do worry that maybe if somebody starts saying some bad words, they'll ruin the party for everybody. But
That'll be me.
so far,
Damn.
it's
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, they have 4 different modes you can do for voice chat, and it seems like in world might be the best one.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Do you remember when they, in their trailer, announced that they made a new game mode and then just didn't go over what the game mode was? That was cool.
Did that happen?
he's talking about the battle royale.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Is it a battle royale? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
battle
there's
royale.
2.
Yeah, they're just teasing it because it's been leaked to hell and back, so they were teasing it. All right. There's already a massive queue for the beta that has started to form. I'm getting word right now that it's over 50,000 people waiting to get into the beta. A little
What the
early for
heck?
that. Anyways,
I missed that. Fred
I mean-
Durst was yelling in my ear. I was trying to find the sledgehammer clip. I did find it. I'm
Okay.
sending it.
Send
It's
it.
in the multiplayer trailer, I
Yeah.
think, right?
Yep.
Yeah. The one with the Limp Bizkit. I think it's in that one.
Yep.
No, it's not.
It is.
Is
It is because whatever you guys were just reading off, I couldn't hear because fucking
Oh,
Limp Bizkit was
Oh,
screaming
Fred
at
Durst.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
They also
there's-
go over in the multiplayer beta because the guy's talking like, guy shooting from above you,
Right.
Smash the floor.
Yeah, I remember that part. I just didn't remember the whole floor collapsing. Okay. Gage, did you put this in your changes made to Assault and Recon?
That was me.
class? Oh,
They changed Assault and Recon before the beta went live, and kind of a W change, in my opinion.
what?
They changed 2 of the things for Assault, making it less of a lone wolf style gameplay with Assault and more of a team based one, where the ejector no longer self heals. It does everything else, but like so it'll like not heal you,
Resistance
but
to
make you resistance to
explosives,
exactly, and then make it so that your team captures points faster with you in the vicinity.
And then the other big one, is that they took the respawn beacon
ramp.
from the
Yeah.
they took the respawn beacon from the sniper class, which historically, and I'll admit to this, everybody did it. You'd find a sneaky sniper spot, and then you would just use your respawn beacon for yourself to get back into that sneaky spot. So they've moved the respawn beacon from the sniper class to the assault class. So now, if you're there capturing points, on the front lines, you're more likely to drop that. And then I think they also said it can be used unlimited by your team, but the second that the person who deployed it uses it, it breaks. So it's almost like an incentive for the assault class to drop it and leave it and forget about it. Have your team use it, ideally somewhere near the action, near the points you're trying to cap, and then you get points for every time your team spawns on it.
I just remember too, your team can spawn on you faster if you're an Assault player.
Right. Lots of good changes. I hate that they're doing the mixed. I really wish they would just commit to the class thing, because they're doing 2 different, I think, what do they call it? Playlists, where there's like one where it's like, oh, all the weapons are open and you can do anything, and then there's one where it's like old school Battlefield, weapons are locked behind classes. And it kind of bugs me that instead of committing to one or the other, they just said to the community, fine, we'll have 2 playlists, because I feel like most people are
They
just
should
going to
commit.
pick. Yeah, exactly. Most people are going to pick the one where any class can use any weapon, and it's like, is it that big of a deal, I guess, in the end, if the game is popular? No, but it just sucks where it's like, that's just a piece of your identity. Just commit to it. That's like we talked about.
Yeah,
Classes having specific
Yeah.
jobs, like
I agree.
I would disagree because like I'm a fan of options. Like in Halo, for instance, I don't love every single game mode that's in Halo. They're very vastly different than one another, and I don't personally have a problem with other options. Like if people want to play that way, then who cares? I'll just play the way I want to play.
Nah, nah. Hell no. I'm in a moment where I'm like, no, I want games to not be for everyone. I think it's okay for there to be some friction
I don't
and
think that
for
it
a
has
game to have an identity.
I don't think that has to be for everyone, though. I mean, a person that's not into first-person shooters isn't going to play Battlefield or, You know,
Right.
I don't even think that Battlefield is a mainstream game, really. Like, they try to position it as a mainstream game, but in reality, it's never competed with Call of Duty in terms of numbers, strictly numbers.
It's gotten close. I'd say Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4 are probably the closest it's gotten in terms of like having a pretty decent chunk of the FPS space around it. But still, even then, it's not exactly 1-to-1. But the problem is that they want that to happen. Clearly, they want to break into the front of the audience, if you will, and in order to do that, they think that what's the word I'm looking for? Compromising on some of their gameplay ideas. So what people are used to is just pick any gun you want, do anything you want.
Yeah.
They're trying to make it a bit more like Call of Duty, I think, to get more of an audience, which is unfortunate. I think that the rule set of classic Battlefield is what separates it.
If I were in charge, I'd bring back Operation Metro and then have everyone smile.
1000% tickets, Operation Metro, 24/7 server.
God, dude.
Those are the days, though.
One thing I was going to mention real quick when you guys were talking about classes, there was a lot of people talking about the assault class, saying it was like extremely OP. So I don't know, because apparently you can spawn with a sniper, shotgun, and spawn beacon as assault class.
That's what we're talking about, though, right?
Yeah.
Because that's when you choose the playlist where any class can use any weapon, and I don't want that.
Well, no, it's not. No, this is
it's the assault class. You have two primary weapons.
correct.
Right, but you can't use snipers if you play it in the classic playlist where snipers are locked to recon.
No, that's not correct.
Assault can have like a shotgun as a secondary weapon. You know what I
Shotguns
mean?
aren't locked to any specific class. So the assault class's ability is to have two primary weapons. If you're playing it if you're playing that assault class in the game mode that doesn't allow certain weapons, you can't have a sniper. If you're playing it in the playlist that yes, that's
the sniper. The sniper. I thought the sniper was a multi-use weapon because they have certain weapons that are used across.
This is what I'm saying. They've instead of committing to one or the other, there's two playlists you can play. You can play the classic.
No, but that's classic Battlefield as well, where there's certain weapons you can pick across all of them, right?
The DMR you can pick across all of them. The sniper is locked to recon.
I don't know if that's true. Because I saw.
I guess you'll have to Google it.
I've seen a lot. Well, I can't. I've literally seen people on Twitter talking about it. That's why I mentioned it, because people were bitching about it. So I don't know. I guess we'll see.
From what I understand, if you play the playlist that doesn't have any locks, then yes, the assault class can have a disgusting loadout, which is what I don't want.
Okay, I'll trust you, but we'll see tomorrow, I guess.
Okay, I guess we'll see.
I could have swore that sniper was one of the multi-use weapons, though. I might be wrong.
I don't think so.
I might be wrong, but
They usually are.
oh, of course I am. Yeah, sorry. All right.
Am I handsome and funny and smart, Christian?
Go read that description again. You'll get your answer.
All right, into the quick bites we go. One battle after another is coming to Fortnite, whatever that means.
That's a new movie from.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
It's not Paul.
Yep.
Paul, it is?
Yep. Yep.
WSIB Anderson.
That's the wrong Anderson.
Oh, it's Paul. What is it? I don't know. I don't give a fuck.
Maybe Leonardo DiCaprio. Maybe Leonardo DiCaprio will be a skin.
And Benicio del Toro in his little gi outfit. That'd be awesome, dude.
Let me just say this.
Not that gi, a different gi.
I know.
Oh, that's funny.
Also, we have Power Rangers and Halo people coming to Fortnite. Yay, Halo Spartans.
No one is saying a single thing about the Halo people.
All right.
How do you feel about the way that the Halo people like? I saw. Was it?
Is this real?
Was it Mint Blitz that was saying like somebody make sure these Spartans are eating properly or something?
Yeah.
They look a little weird, a little skinny. Like
yeah, I think they had to fit the character model or something weird. I don't know.
Is it just to match the proportions of like
Yeah, because they did
Oh, look at that.
female. It's supposed to be a female Spartan, but I don't know if maybe the proportions are just like weird on the female skin or something. Because they did Master Chief and it looked
And
fine.
he looked
they
pretty
already
like
have Master
proportional.
Chief.
Yeah. Weird.
Also, like,
Can
they
you get
have buff Peter Griffin. Can they not?
That's
like-
true. Yeah, they do have Buff
Right.
Peter Griffin. Yeah, that's strange.
All right. Bioshock 4 is apparently having development issues and is undergoing a complete narrative overhaul after 2K executives saw the game. Not good. Some failed writing there. It's almost as if the creator of Bioshock isn't actually working on this.
What's that Ken Levine game?
Judas.
This is where Judas can come and eat their lunch, huh? With the release date soon.
That's true, although that game's been in development for just as long or longer.
But if this is having a complete narrative overhaul, I mean, that
doesn't
tells
look
me
good.
that it's not anywhere near close to coming out. We're not going to see the light of day for a while.
Indeed. We also got an announcement for Darksiders 4 from Gunfire Games, and we're also getting 4-player co-op for the first time ever from a Darksiders game. I know a lot of Darksiders fans were like wanting 4-player co-op for a long time. So, very cool. I loved Darksiders 1, and then I liked 2, didn't play 3. So, we'll see.
I think I have the exact same trajectory as you. Are we going to play this together?
Maybe. We might have to.
Let's do a little co-op. Let's do it on Saturday night when nobody else is on.
When Christian is out in the real world.
You know me.
Ubisoft is back to doing Ubisoft things again, and they reportedly threatened to sue the voice protagonist of Edward Kenway for previously hinting that fans would get the chance to play Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag once again. What the fuck?
You and I were talking about this off the podcast, but it's like if you're mad at him because you want to keep Assassin's Creed 4 remake a secret, threatening to sue him is probably the worst way to, you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
people. I'm now immediately like, okay, well, I guess it really is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ubisoft, man.
Yeah, Ubisoft. Jurassic Park Islands are apparently coming to Flight Sim 2024, as well as dinosaurs. There we go. Dinos. Black Ops 7 will officially require Secure Boot and TPM 2.0, and Battlefield 6 will as well. I'd put it as a note in here, which is an interesting shift for games nowadays, because that essentially means if your PC was made before 2018-ish, you better get an upgrade because it doesn't have TPM 2.0 most likely. I mean, there's very few that did for them. That's
specifically your motherboard and your processor, right? That you would need to.
It's a security chip that you need on there, and it's the Intel 8th gen and forward has it. So if you have anything older than an 8th gen Intel processor, you do not have TPM 2.0.
But it pretty much that's the only integral part that you would have to, like, say if you built your PC from scratch in like 2017.
Yeah.
The only thing you need to do to clear the hurdle, I think, is a CPU upgrade, right?
It depends.
And a motherboard upgrade?
It depends because it depends on what your motherboard is. If it supports a newer processor,
right.
If it doesn't support a newer processor, then you're going in the weeds a little bit more. You're gonna have to do more upgrades. Right. Yeah. All right, last quick bite here. Redoctane Games has been revived to debut a new rhythm game later this year. I believe Activision shut them down in 2010-ish after they were done with Guitar Hero, and these are the developers. Well, sorry. led by genre veterans who helped create and scale Guitar Hero and DJ Hero. Debut rhythm game is announced later this year. It's interesting that they put in here create and scale Guitar Hero because obviously Harmonix created Guitar Hero.
This is a great reminder for me to look at Guitar Heroes for my PC.
Huh?
Guitar Hero controller for my PC, so I can play Clone Hero.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Play with me.
I can only do it Saturday night.
Oh my god. Let's
You're busy that day, anyways.
Let's play with the fantasy draft check-in. And we have one history item here that Gage has acquired counterpick Mafia the Old Country with a bid of $3.
You got a feeling, huh? Black Eyed Peas style?
We were talking
It's gonna
about
be
this.
I'm not gonna get points on it, and I'm okay with that, but I have to pick something. I have to counterpick something, and this is getting no higher than a 74. So I'm okay with losing 4 points.
That's fair. It could do that.
I really hope this isn't a slam dunk, dude. I really hope.
Yeah,
I hope
if
it's
Mafia
I hope
2.
the balls are right.
If it's Mafia 2 levels, you're about to lose
I know.
12 to 14 points, I think. Maybe more.
You should have counterpicked Replaced. That game isn't coming out anytime soon.
Yeah, but then they can just drop it, right? Like that's.
Wait a minute.
That's
The guy who has
Or
zero
Judas.
The guy who has 0 counterpicks right now is telling you should have counterpicked something else.
That's true. That's true. Rules
I'm
for
giving
thee
you
and not
freedom.
for me.
I'm giving you free advice here.
Advice that you haven't followed yourself, dude. That makes me nervous to take it.
Yeah, I'm literally only holding those just on the off chance that there's a stealth release around the corner, but we'll see. I don't even know. Do I have 2 drops left for games that will release? I don't remember where you find that at.
Damn, Ro picked up Silent Hill F. Maybe I should kind of pick that one.
Anyways, I don't think there's any new updates this week. We had some updates last week. No new updates. I can't remember. Oh, you have to have details. That's right. Yeah, I have 2 more games I can release for games that will not release this year. So that's why I'm keeping them, because I need them to confirm that they're not coming out this year before I can drop them. Because I already used my 3 will release this year drops.
I see.
So, yeah. Counter pick me up, guys. All right. Yeah, and Mafia the Old Country comes out actually Friday. Very soon for Row. Stay tuned for that. All right, what you got for me? I'll do this real quick. What you got for me, Dan? I've been playing the Halo Infinite Fall update, which is an amazing update. I think the very small team that is working on Halo Infinite still, because most of the team has moved on to the next projects, they did an amazing job with this update. This is the best update to date. We got the Falcon introduced in the game, the first new vehicle ever of Halo Infinite's 3 years or 4 years. First new vehicle. We also got a new weapon with the carbine, which I used it yesterday, and it plays really well. Very different sandbox than the rest of the weapons that are in the arsenal. And then we also got some new playlists that are really fun to play as well, and a bunch of other stuff, but those were the highlights. And that's all I got. Christian?
Me? I played a lot of Death Stranding 2 for work, and that's it, I think. Long game. In a good way.
In a good way.
How's the music?
The music is probably the best part. I mean, I've sent you videos. Actually, that's not true. This is like the best skybox I think I've seen in a video game. Like it's kind of unreal the way that game like looks visually. There's a thing, if you play Tears of the Kingdom and you're watching a sunrise and everything gets overexposed and like it's hard to see, like everything is like silhouettes. This is what that game looks like with the sun rising, and then like music will start playing, and it's nice game.
You know who does the music for that game?
You mean the sound? I'm talking about the soundtrack, the like OST. Not
the score is the score.
I'm not talking about score. I'm not talking about score. No, the score is fantastic.
You know who does the score?
Tell me.
Woodkid.
Yeah, he when there's the music when you're like prepping for like to go out on like on a mission or whatever is insanely good. Like actually really good.
I might buy this game. I actually just got a text that my TV will be delivered. Just confirming that it will be delivered. 65-inch LG OLED. The same TV that Dan's got. Well, it's a few years newer, but the same general idea.
I hate that my setup is it's not big enough because I want to be using my OLED already. Enough, you know what I mean? I want to use it.
I'm so excited, and I think I might have to buy that game even just to visually go on a trip with that, because it does look incredible.
And it only gets like more. This is the game. I'm sorry to talk about this longer. Where I'm like, I wasn't sold on the first half of it, or I guess like the first little bit of it. I was like, oh, this isn't hitting the way Death Stranding 1 was, and then it's like that game is like backloaded, where like the second half of it is like where it really gets into gear and you get more interesting like stuff. So I mean, even the videos of me like firefighting wildfires, like that was in the first half of the game, and that was
so it gets even more alluring than that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Gage, what you got?
What you got for me? I think just 2 games. First, Rematch. Playing a lot of Rematch still. It's still in the weekly rotation for me. Still having a lot of fun. Still very buggy. Still very broken. But man, when it works, it works. Me, you, and Sheldon were playing that this weekend. I wish you could play too, but you'd rather not play with us. Exactly. It's so good when you make coordinated plays. It feels so good. And then against all odds, I'm kind of getting a little bit back into Halo Infinite, which is a pretty good Halo game, pretty good shooter, and carrying Dan in team doubles. It feels good. It's fun.
Oh, sorry. Thought you were making a good joke there.
Yeah, I'm excited to get into some Battlefield this weekend, though. Play a real shooter.
Call out tomorrow.
You wouldn't even be there anyways.
Tomorrow, I got nothing going on. I got weapons early in the morning. Not early in the morning, at 5 p.m. Pacific. But after that, I'm free.
What?
What the fuck?
Early in the evening is what I meant to say. Early in the evening,
Okay,
and then I'm free.
sense.
Yeah.
I can't open Letterboxd until Monday. I don't want to see your stupid little 2-star review.
Dude, Zach Kreger's weapons. I gave Barbarian like a 4, I think. I'm excited for this.
I know. I still can't. I'm not going to open Letterboxd until I see it.
Don't end the podcast, Dan. Let's see.
Oh my god.
Barbarian.
Gage is gonna be late.
3.5 stars.
3.5 stars. Correct.
Yeah.
Great
Which is
movie.
fair.
Good movie.
Make sure you join Christian on this.
You know what?
Large popcorn.
Hold on. We're on break for August. Live on the air. I'm giving this the heart. There we go. 3.5 stars and a heart.
That's fair. You know what? I just watched a movie that you've seen. I checked afterwards.
I did.
I watched Greenland. 2.5 stars and a heart. I had fun, but it's not that good.
Yeah, no, I remember.
The best Hallmark movie that's possibly ever been made. It was
I
fun.
gave it 3 stars, man. What was I on?
I saw that. No, but your description is totally fair.
It's a disaster movie. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you left your brain at the door. You had fun.
So, is that a great? You ever watch Moonfall? You gotta watch Moonfall, dude.
I haven't watched Moonfall, no.
Dan, go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you again to everyone joining us live on YouTube and Twitch, as well as podcast services everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Thank you, Ro, who will return. We love you. Christian, thank you as well. Gage, thank you as well. I am Daniel, and this has been Podcast PXN, and we are out. Much love, and keep on gaming.
See ya.
Adios.